Pat. Good evening, one and all, and welcome to Lemon Live at 5, the Don Lemon Show, here on the Don Lemon channel, on the YouTube, on the TikTok, on the Instagram, on the Facebook, and everywhere you get streaming. We are here to discuss, there's a whole lot going on, and a lot of folks are trying to get us off, throw us off the trail. You know how they do with the dogs? Like they try to throw you off the trail. You jump back and forth over the fence. So the dogs are like, wait, which way did he go? You go through the water, all kinds of things. You know, you're just like, what am I going to do to throw these people off the trail? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do whatever. This is a meme that's going around. This is what's happening. I'm just trying to tell you guys, okay? So look at America. America's in the bottom left. By the way, welcome. Let me know I want to know where you guys are, and I'll shout you out. And also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, okay? It's really, really important that you do that. I know you guys get tired of hearing me do that, but if you listen or watch, people do the same thing. Sometimes they do it at the beginning of the show, sometimes they do it at the end, the middle, or it pops up. It's very important. Hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, and become a member, okay? And welcome. We have new members already. Welcome. And I'm so glad that you guys are in the chat before. Hello, hot ass Savannah, Georgia says hello. Lola. Wow, it's that hot in Savannah? Where is Grimes Land, North Carolina? I've never heard of that. Yeah. Okay, so, yes, I will mention Theo, okay? Do you guys want to do it at the beginning? Well, let me do this, and then I'll mention Theo. So, actually, come on, let me mention Theo, and then, because you guys want me to do it. So, let's put it up. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, and then we'll get to the Epstein thing, okay? With my family, I was with my entire little Cosby family out. We were out doing our thing. We went out on the water today, this summer. They're all here. And Malcolm-Jamal Warner, can we get a picture of him? Actor, 54 years old, dies in an accidental drowning, okay? He was swimming off a beach in Costa Rica when a current, back up a little bit, that's okay. When apparently, I guess a current swept him out. That's why you got to be careful out there. When a current pulled him deeper into the ocean, officials said. Now, here's the thing. I was out with my family. All of them are swimmers. But my mom, life jacket. My nephews, great nephews, life jackets. And the adults, whatever, no life jackets. I mean, life jackets near them, but not wearing them. Everybody has a life jacket on the boat, but they wear it all the time. And even when they're at the beach, we were at the beach the other day, and they went in, and I was like, I'm too old to be running in here after you guys. But yeah, wow. You have to have them, and I feel I'm not saying anything about Malcolm-Jamal Warner because this is just obviously a huge accident, just a terrible, terrible accident. But you guys know when you're out there, you know, when I was younger, I was a lifeguard when I was younger. I always respected the water, but I didn't have like that healthy respect. Like as I got older, my respect for the water kept getting healthier, and then, if you guys have been with me for a long time, back at the beginning of 2018, in January of 2018, my sister died in an accidental drowning. I mean, just shocked us, ripped our family apart. My mom's never been the same. I hate to say that, but it's true. So rest in peace, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Let's read about it. Warner was swimming off of a beach in Costa Rica when a current pulled him deeper into the ocean, officials said. Keep scrolling. And do you guys remember? Scroll up, please, Andy. If you guys remember, he played Theo on the Cosby Show. And so my mom was saying, when we saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Everyone said, what? And I said, he drowned. And they said, who's reporting that? I said, it's everywhere. They said, which one? Malcolm. She goes, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. I said, yeah, Theo on the Cosby Show. And everybody goes, oh. So just a real tragedy. Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Department confirmed NBC News on Monday that Warner drowned Sunday afternoon on a beach on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. Oh my gosh. He was swimming at Playa Cockles in Limon province when a current dragged him deeper into the ocean. The department said in a statement, he was pulled back to the beach by people at the scene, but first responders from Costa Rica's Red Cross found him without vital signs, and he was taken to the morgue. Warner first rose to prominence for his role as Theo Huxtable, Bill Cosby's fictional son. The Cosby Show, which ran from 8 seasons. God, you guys remember that? Some of you don't. 1984 to the early 90s. He was nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor for the role. Native of New Jersey. So, and he was a nice guy. I did not know him well. I think I met him maybe once, but oh my gosh. Prayers up, everybody. So that role was pivotal to me because I felt like, although I was older, this was 1984. I was older than him when the show started. So 1984, I was a senior in high school. And I think the show started when I was a freshman in college. I think it started in the fall of 84. And I just related to this family because, before then, I always tell people pretty much the only role models we had on television as African Americans, as Black folks, was J.J. Walker, Fred Sanford, and George Jefferson, right? Which was all fine, but my family was not like, there was not anything that was relatable to me. And Good Times. Some folks, it is relatable. When I moved to Chicago, I understand it. But I was a Southern boy that grew up in a different way than the folks that in Good Times grew up. And, I didn't say Dynamite, although I did want the hats like JJ had on. And then came the Cosby Show, and I was like, oh, well, there's a representation that's similar to my family, finally. And so and a lot of folks felt that way. And that's why thus the huge success of that show, where it just made being a Black family in America normal to see that, and not like people who are always struggling, is always struggle porn is what I call it. And it's like a lot of the movies that have to do with slavery and Black, it is struggle. Okay. And so, I mean, I haven't seen, you guys let me know if you've seen, Urkel was not, I was not, as someone says Urkel, I was not as, nerdy as Urkel. And then there was A Different World that came after that. That was also very similar. Folks who were going to college. I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'll tell you exactly. I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And when I was Theo's age, when he came on television, I lived in this neighborhood called Park Vista. And it was just a couple miles from Southern University, which was an HBCU, which was an all-Black, a majority Black university, historically Black college and university, Southern University. And, we went to the games every Saturday for football season. My family had season tickets, and we sat in the season ticket section, on the 50. It was just great. We go to the Bayou Classic every year, and my neighborhood was full of people who were engineers and professors, engineers at the chemical plants or at the refineries or at the businesses in Louisiana, or they were university professors, that kind of thing. It was that talent, W.E.B. Du Bois talented tent neighborhood. It was like Black families that had sprinklers and swimming pools and, that kind of thing. It was like an upper middle class Black neighborhood. So when I saw the Cosby Show, it was like, we were all like, woo, look, it's us. There we go, finally. And so, it was filled with the dancing dolls were, the LSU had the Golden Girls for their band. We had the dancing dolls for Southern University. And so we had lots of homecoming queens that were in our neighborhood, Black homecoming queens, yada, yada, yada. It was that kind of thing. And so Theo really resonated with me. And now to think, he wasn't that much younger. He was just 3 years younger than me. So 4 years younger than me. So, wow, just unbelievably sad. He was all of Gen X's play cousin. He was. He really, really was. If you have a story about that. So we want to celebrate his life, and we want to celebrate all the lives of all the folks. And look, say what you want about Bill Cosby. I'm not even going near the scandal that happened, but I'm just speaking specifically about the Cosby Show. What this show did for America, Black America especially, but America, was extraordinary. And to be the #1 show and to have a successful show for that long, it had to have had broad appeal that went beyond African Americans. And so, say what you want. It was a game changer. It was, Bill Cosby in that respect was a trailblazer for creating this show. I'm sure doing some of the writing and just pushing to make sure that the roles on that show, that they weren't the stereotypical roles that had previously been had on television, especially sitcoms for Black people. Because this is like during the Roots, like right after Roots. Remember, we were watching that and we're like, oh Lord, nobody knows. But anyway, so Malcolm-Jamal Warner, all your family, all the Cosby family, all those folks who were close to him, Lisa Bonet, and all the folks there. Felicia Rashad and everyone, my heart goes out to you guys because I know that you all were still close after the show. So rest well, as Janet McFarter says, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. If we start getting, guys, look for it. If you see responses from some of the folks from Hollywood or from the people who worked with him, let me know. We'll get it on. Okay, so let's discuss, shall we? Let's discuss the distraction that I mentioned, because there's plenty of distraction that's going on. Oh my God, they're trying their damnedest to distract you. So just put this up. This is a meme. This is America. America laser focused. As I was saying this morning, and I've been saying the entire time, Epstein. Okay, so America's sitting there minding its own damn business, listening to I don't know, maybe a podcast. They're probably listening to the Don Lemon Show. So this man that's America portrayed on the bottom left is sitting there listening to the Don Lemon Show. He's probably a lemon legend. Who knows? But he is definitely part of the Lemon Nation. He's a lemon head. He's laser focused. Epstein files update. And he's like, oh, what's going on? And then here is Donald Trump and the MAGA folks in the background going, oh, Obama conspiracy. I'll tell you the Obama conspiracy. I'll show you that coming up. Mexican Cokes, we're going to put sugar in it. He's tweeting about that. Oh, I'm going to take Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. He's tweeting about that. He wants to change the Redskins name back. All of that. Look at them fighting in the back. And America's just like, Can I get some more Epstein files update? By the way, I have popcorn here. Can I get some more Epstein files update? Okay. Tweeting about Coke. Okay, whatever. More Epstein. Okay? That is the focus right now. That should be the focus for all of America. Do not be distracted. I'm going to give you guys a lesson. We should give America a lesson in not being distracted. He's going to play the blame Obama game. He's going to do all of these things. So here's what he's doing. So the distraction is not working. This is what Politico is saying. Trump removes the Wall Street Journal from the Scotland press polls, because you know what happened with the Wall Street Journal, right? The Wall Street Journal wrote about Donald Trump's little picture and birthday present to Jeffrey Epstein, wrote about it in detail. It was lewd. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. It was a lewd depiction, a woman and his name. He signed his name in the area of the pubis. And it looked like hairs. Okay? Epstein. A White House spokesperson declined to comment on if the journal would be included in the pool in the future, either on the White House campus or on subsequent trips. So this is a distraction. So listen, so don't get me wrong now. I know that reporting on the distraction is kind of getting you away from it, but we're still talking about it. I'm just giving you a lesson in distraction, okay? White House removes Wall Street Journal from Scotland press poll over Epstein bombshell. Scroll, please. Now, by the way, the reason that the thumbnail says Epstein versus Hunter is because Hunter is not helping. And I'll talk about that later. So the White House is removing the Wall Street Journal from the pool of reporters covering the president's weekend trip to Scotland. White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt told Politico. The move follows the journal's reporting alleging that Donald Trump sent a sexually suggestive, as I just said, message to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. Trump has denied the existence of the letter, and Politico has not verified it. Okay? So, Tarina Party, a White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, had been scheduled to serve as the print pooler for the final 2 days of the Trump 4-day trip to his golf courses in Turnberry, and Aberdeen, Scotland. But the White House, which earlier this year took over control of the pool rotations from the White House Correspondents Association, removed her from the trip manifest, Levitt said. So they never should have let them do that. They should have said, okay, fine, you're not going to do it? We're not carrying your shit. We are not carrying your shit, and we'll just do. We'll put the reporters on there. We'll put all of our investigative reporters on the White House beat, and we just won't carry your stuff, and we'll just report the stories that you don't want us to report, that we find this is the most important. That's what they should have done. Instead, now they're between a rock and a hard place because they allowed Donald Trump to do this. Okay, so that's what's happening. That's part of the distraction. You can take that down. That's part of the distraction. Now, this other distraction is coming from Donald Trump himself. And it is the meme. I showed you the meme of Barack Obama. Not the meme, but the AI generated thing that he is putting out there about Barack Obama. Which they're saying is the most unhinged Epstein distraction yet. That's what New York Magazine is saying. Obama arrest video is Trump's most unhinged Epstein diversion. Did you see that diversion? We showed that to you, right? Do we have it? Can we show it to them and then we'll talk about it?
Yeah, I have it right here.
All right, let's play and then we'll read from the article. This is the most unhinged one right here. And there's a little music on there. This is young men, there's no need to feel down. And so I guess, yeah, there we go. So that's it right there. And so then Obama gets arrested. And then Obama gets arrested. And so again, this is AI. Now let's just remember this, okay? Let me fix this right here. I want you guys to remember, just to keep in mind what's going on right here, right? To keep in mind what's going on right here. Barack Obama. Donald Trump is the convicted felon. And Donald Trump is a convicted felon. And Donald Trump would like nothing more than to see Barack Obama like that. But here's the thing. There's no evidence of it. But it's a conspiracy theory that folks will fall for. Okay, scroll it and let's go through this article as far as we can go through it. So if you close your computer on Friday, Donald Trump was making fumbling attempts to contain the scandal over the Jeffrey Epstein files and his newly unveiled birthday letter to a late sex offender. You're probably confused right now, right? If you don't know. Why did Trump post a video of Barack Obama being arrested? By the way, it's AI, it's fake. Barack Obama being arrested in the Oval Office? Well, why are we all talking about the Washington Commanders again? And what's going on with this deodorant recall? Keep scrolling. You know why that is? Because he wants a distraction. I can't help you with the last question, but I can shed some light on Trump's apparently successful effort to I'm not sure, to regain control of the Epstein narrative, which reached its apex when the president reposted an exceptionally unhinged TikTok on Sunday. Here's a Q&A on the madness you missed over the weekend. Okay, so that's the distraction. Now, the real criminal is the man who is actually sitting in the Oval Office right now, or who is, on a tour of his own golf courses in Turnberry in Scotland. That is the fool who is actually the real criminal. But he is so jealous, green with envy of Barack Obama. He wants to be Barack Obama. But you can't. As the great philosopher Countess Luann de Lesseps said, money can't buy you class. Not even billions. It's something you have or you don't, or you get from home training or you don't. Sir, I know Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and you, sir, are not Barack Obama. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Keep your eye on the prize. Okay? Now, this has grown into a conspiracy theory for the MAGA folks, because at any moment, the MAGA people are thinking that Barack Obama and some of the Democrats who are high up in the Democratic Party, like Hillary Clinton, that they are going to be arrested at any point. because Donald Trump is helping to spread this conspiracy theory and change the subject about what's happening and that is Epstein. Now I'm going to show you what they're doing. The links they're going through, the people who are speaking out about it, and there's some actually funny jokes about it. And then we're going to get to the other person who is not helping with the distraction because he is giving Fox News and others. I can't say there are a lot of things that he actually says that are true. We're going to play it, and you guys are going to let me know some of it. And then we'll also have a private chat that happens for our members after that. We're really going to talk about it. But first, Andy, we're going to give a word from our sponsors. But when we come back from our sponsors, wait till you hear what and who you're going to hear from regarding these conspiracy theories and distraction from Jeffrey Epstein. Here's a word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from 120 Life, and this one is personal. I have someone close to me, someone I love, who has been quietly struggling with high blood pressure. No warning signs, just stress, genetics, life catching up, and suddenly the doctor saying, you got to make a change. That's why I am grateful for 120 Life. It is a natural blend of superfruit juices, tasty, easy to drink, and it's actually been shown to help lower blood pressure. No drugs, no side effects, just something that works. It's not just for blood pressure either. It supports diabetes, heart health. It's a real game changer. And here is the kicker, okay? Here's the kicker. You can see the difference without even leaving your home with a simple heart monitor. It is not wishful thinking. It is trackable real progress. That's why hundreds of doctors recommend it. Try it risk-free today. Go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com and use the code DON to get 20% off. And if your blood pressure numbers don't go down in 2 weeks, you get your money back. Seriously, this isn't just an ad. This is your health. Take it seriously. 120life.com, code DON. The show is supported by Chef IQ. And y'all, this little device right here has changed my grilling life. Okay, so let me set the scene for you. I'm going to set the scene. I love to cook. I don't always love the stress of it, though, okay? Hovering over a grill or oven, trying to guess if the chicken's done, overcooking one side, undercooking the other side. Is the chicken done? What? Now, Chef IQ Sense does the thinking for me. It is a smart wireless sensor that goes into whatever I'm cooking, steak, salmon, you name it. It connects to an app on my phone, and I choose how I want it cooked. And boom, it monitors the temperature. It predicts exactly when it's ready and sends an alert to my phone. I'm not stuck in the kitchen or in front of the grill anymore. I can entertain, relax, pour a glass of wine, and when dinner is ready, it's perfect, okay? So they've got a flash sale going on right now, 15% off when you go to chefiq.com and use the promo code LEMON. Again, that's chefiq, CHEF-IQ.com, promo code LEMON, okay? Cook smart, eat happy. Thank you to our sponsors. Appreciate it, sponsors. Okay, so let's get back to the show. All right, so where shall we go from here? Okay, so this is Michael Flynn Jr., because this is a conspiracy theorist. When you start to traffic in conspiracy theories, right, it's hard to back away. So Michael Flynn Jr. So we can revoke passports today because AG Pam Bondi, because they're thinking, oh my gosh, these folks, the Clintons of the world, the Obamas of the world, the high-ranking Democrats of the world, they are going to leave the country because Donald Trump is going to arrest them and he has some dirt on them. Not going to happen. But this is the party, the group, the movement that has been trafficking in conspiracy theories forever. Okay? Forever. Now, there is a joke that was told by my friend Ezra Klein, and he talks about this MAGA conspiracy theorist person, this conspiracy theorist, and let's see if I can get the joke correct. I hate messing up jokes, okay? So he goes to the pearly gates. He dies. This conspiracy theorist dies, and then he goes to the pearly gates, and Jesus is there. And Jesus says, okay, I will ask me one question. I'll grant you this. Ask me one question and I'll answer it for you. And he says, okay, who killed JFK? And Jesus says, Lee Harvey Oswald. And the conspiracy theorist says, wow, this goes higher than I thought. Such a dad joke, but that just tells you that you will never convince them that there isn't a conspiracy theory, okay? Because even if Jesus says, look, let me tell you, they will say, oh my God, this goes higher. And but the weird thing is that even if Donald Trump says it for some reason, some of them still don't believe it because they have trafficked in conspiracy theories for so long that they just cannot help themselves. You cannot convince them that they are wrong. And my friend Sarah Longwell over at the Bulwark shares her thoughts on this, and she is 100% right. And this is what the Democrats should be focused on, and the media should be focused on this. Instead, they're getting distractions. Here's Sarah Longwell from the Bulwark.
For some of these folks who are deep on Epstein, you're going to have a hard time telling them there's not an elite global cabal. They're much more likely to just be like, Trump is being controlled by the elite global cabal.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what they choose to believe, fine. I mean, not fine. It's not great for so many people to be this steeped in conspiracies. But if it makes them lose faith in Daddy Trump, in King Trump, I'm for it, because someone is lying. Like, somebody is lying. I actually am deeply unconspiratorial. I tend to think things are very much Occam's razor, like whatever the most obvious explanation is.
Oh,
like,
please. She's me. You guys have heard me use that term all the time. And I always say to my producer, Peter, is that the right term? I forget. Occam's razor, when it's the most obvious of answers. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. So much so that people get mad at me because they're like, wait, because I just won't fathom, something unless I see the evidence or the facts. I'll go, okay. I shouldn't say I won't fathom it. I'll think about it. And then I say, but you know what? Until I see the actual evidence, I'm not going to change my mind about this. Now, if I see it, I can certainly change my mind. But I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm very much, Sarah Longwell is me on this. And we feel the same way about this. Now, I want you to listen very closely, everyone, okay? Listen very closely to what she's saying next, because I think it's a really important point. Here it is.
They told us two competing things. And so demand that they answer it. Donald Trump's biggest funder, his number one consigliere for the first 5 months, who he put in charge of all of our computer systems and everything, says he's on the Epstein list. Okay, so I'm not saying that means it's true. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying there's an Epstein list. I'm saying that the richest man in the world and the president of the United States got into this back and forth. And it feels like someone should follow up on that and figure out if the richest man in the world who controls all these government contracts is lying, or if the president of the United States is lying. These aren't reality television characters. It's not tawdry. It is like, look, is it tawdry? Well, yeah, but I'm also sorry that that is the state of our politics. So what we are in control of is finding the truth, and we should.
Okay. 100%. Thank you, Sarah Longwell. So I want you guys to think about this, and especially if we have any MAGAs or any Donald Trump supporters in the audience, in the crowd, right? Because I see there's always some on TikTok, and there's always some here. Some of them are very respectful, and some are, are just, trolls. Now, I want you to think about this. Think about if, I don't know, let's say Hillary Clinton, or we could say Kamala Harris. Let's say Joe Biden or Barack Obama. Now, let's just say that they were like, we want these files released, something that could be damaging to some folks. And they say, oh, we want this. We want this person. We want these files released. We want people to see it because there's definitely something in there. We want this. We want this. And the Republicans are going, oh, what? Why? I mean, why do you care about this? And the Democrats kept going, we want this. We want this. By the way, it's dirt. It's dirt on the Republicans, and it's gonna whatever. Okay. And then all of a sudden, the Democrats went, once their guy or person or woman or lady got into office, And all of a sudden the Democrats went, well, no, nothing to see here. Move along. We're change the subject. Tired of talking about it. Let's just talk about our accomplishments. We're not going to discuss that issue. Nope. Not going to do it. Now, what the fuck do you think Fox News would be doing? What the fuck do you think Republicans would be doing right now? What do you think all of the folks, I don't know, and just pick one, all of the Trump dick riders, what would they be doing right now? If this was a Democrats doing the exact same thing, don't you think they would be losing their damn minds? Don't you think they'd be like, there's got to be something in there. They don't want it out. Don't you think they'd be doing something? But theirs would be on steroids. There are people in the Democratic Party who do not want to touch this, and high-ranking people. Have you noticed there's only a few of them that are talking about it, right? They would want to touch this with a 10-foot pole, as my mom would say, with a long handle spoon. They would not want to. They don't want to touch it now because they think they're above it. But this is where the meat is. They're afraid. But the party who has been tracked, even if it's, oh my gosh, Mark Levin or Levin, however you say his name. Now, we played something this morning. Get me the original thing of what Levin said just, I don't know, last night, maybe on Fox News or whatever his show was. And then I'm going to play something that he said not so long ago in the not so distant past. First of all, this was last night after you know what? Let's show the first one when he, with Pam Bondi, where he talks about Pam Bondi and we've got, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll show it in order. The first one and then the second one. Here it is.
The one from this morning first?
No, the one from this morning second.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, we better be united, we better be strong, we better be focused, we better be articulate. We can't waste our time on Epstein and other stuff that are going on here that some people want us to focus on. I've about had it with all that stuff. Welcome back, America. We're here with, and I'm very excited about this, Attorney General Pam Bondi, a good friend, especially a good friend of my wife, but a wonderful lady, a great lawyer. I want to get into this Epstein thing a little bit. I think the American people are very curious about who's on this list or these lists. You have been doggedly trying to get all the information. And now we learn, thanks to you, that you've been stonewalled by people in New York. Do you want to explain that? But I assume the Southern District of New York is, or has been, holding on to this information for a reason. That is, they don't like the names on the list. And, of course, we know New York is a hotbed of the Democrat Party, and that includes in legal circles. Do you think that's part of the issue here, that they're trying to protect a lot of names and individuals?
So they're so full of shit. By the way, I set that up wrong because it's on the same thing. So the first part that you heard was just him, 20th, which was yesterday, July 20th. That second part where it's like, oh my God, they're stonewalling, that was from March. So all of a sudden he got his marching orders from Donald Trump, or there's something that he believes, or perhaps the Republicans believe, or the MAGA folks believe that may be detrimental to Donald Trump. I don't know. But let's just say for now, let's just for the sake of argument, that just because Donald Trump wants to change the subject, now Mark Levin is saying he's done a complete 180. Now, can you imagine what Mark Levin would be doing again if that was Democrats? Can you imagine the outrage? His head would pop off. That shows you that Mark Levin, is it Levin or Levin? I don't know, has no integrity. He has no integrity, he has no morals. He will say whatever he needs to say to make Donald Trump look good, or the MAGA party or Republicans look good. He doesn't think on his own. Which way is the wind blowing? For MAGA, for Donald Trump. And that is the way I am going to do it. Levin, someone said, Mark Levin. And that's where we are right now. So what are they hiding is the question. And that's a very good question. And look, this is what the Democrats are focused on, or they should be. And I said there weren't enough of them talking about it because some of them don't want to touch it just because they think that they're better than this story. They better get their shit together because they're not. Hakeem Jeffries was on with our friend Jack Cottrella, I I think it was recently, and he talked about what is going on with the MAGA party and with Donald Trump and why the 180. Here it is.
It's extraordinary to me that for years, Republicans promised to release the Epstein files as soon as they had the opportunity to do so, including current top figures in the Department of Justice and the FBI. And now they have the opportunity to actually come clean and be transparent with the American people, and they refuse to do so. And House Republicans refuse to act, even when there's bipartisan support for providing information to the American people.
And it's no surprise, betrayal has really been the theme of this administration on any issue, on promises of affordability. Donald Trump, draining the swamp. We've been talking about this for a decade. It hasn't come. What would you say directly, though, to Speaker Johnson of just him shooting down any possibility of bringing transparency for an issue that he had also been talking about for some time now?
I have a simple question for the Speaker and Republican leaders and members of the House of Representatives on the GOP side. What are you hiding from the American people?
That is a very good question. What are you hiding from the American people? Let's just say that there's nothing in there that is, that is derogatory, so to speak, of Donald Trump. Let's just say there's nothing in there. But still, what are you hiding? Why won't you just release it if there's nothing in there? That's what I don't understand. And look, if there's Democrats on there, okay, good. It doesn't matter the party. If there are people on there or in the file and something is detrimental to them, then they should pay the consequences, regardless of political party. That is the difference, I believe, in Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans are like, nope. They don't want anything derogative. They don't want anything that is going to paint Donald Trump even just a little in a bad light, even though he does a very good job of doing it on his own. As a matter of fact, Politico is reporting that the House will not vote on the Epstein matter. Speaker of the House is saying no. Some White House officials have pushed House Republicans to wait until after August recess, at least before taking a vote in support of releasing the Epstein files. They don't want it. And you know what else they don't want? Scroll up if you have more. You know what else they don't want? They don't want to go back to their districts and these town halls, or just to be running into people on the streets, asking them, why didn't you vote for it? They're trying to shield the incoming because they don't have a really good answer for it. Speaker Mike Johnson doesn't have any plans to put a non-binding resolution on the floor this week before the August recess, or possibly ever, that would call for the administration to release Jeffrey Epstein-related documents. Instead, GOP leaders have an understanding with White House officials that the House will wait to address the matter until after the month-long break in order to give the administration time to release documents on its own following President Donald Trump's move to release grand jury information on the case. The current plan for dealing with the politically explosive matter on Capitol Hill, detailed Monday by people granted anonymity to share private party strategy, comes as the controversy continues to encircle the House GOP in chaos. Johnson's leadership team and Rules Committee, Republicans drafted the non-binding Epstein resolution late last week. The idea was to give panel Republicans political cover amid Democratic attacks on the GOP's handling of the materials related to Epstein, the disgraced financier and convicted S offender who died in jail by suicide in 2019. So now they don't want it. And why don't they want it? Again, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to just wonder. All of a sudden, it is common sense where you say, hey, they really, really wanted this. And let's not make this a Democratic thing. There was something that I saw on Semaphore that just shocked me, because they were saying, oh, all of these conspiracy theories and Democrats and whatever. And they're trying to, for some reason, they were trying to sort of blame the Democrats. It was bizarre. Peter, are you there? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Was it a Ben Smith article on Semaphore?
Yes, it was Ben Smith.
It was it's just shocking to me. What we had a discussion about it. Can you just please enlighten our subscribers, our watchers, on what we were discussing and what happened?
Well, Lemon Nation, forgive me because I'm not on my best mic right now. But what Ben Smith wrote was, in effect, a take on how the Epstein saga represents the journalism industry at its worst. All of its worst sins, all of its worst excesses. And what he means by that is that, in his words, the the Epstein story is one where journalists are allowing their audience to dictate what they should cover, even if there's not really there. And while I respect Ben as a colleague, if I can call him that, I think he's totally off the base there, and I think he is also missing the fundamental truth of the matter, which is that it's not journalists, it's not liberals, it's not Democrats who made this a story. It is Donald Trump and MAGA and Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and all of these characters who made this a central tenet of first their campaign and then now their second administration. And so of course we should cover the fact that they're not delivering. Of course we should cover the fact they're seemingly covering up for, at least if you're in the minds of your average MAGA voter, they're covering up for a cabal of kid diddlers, of rich, powerful, connected kid diddlers. And the idea, the notion that this is, sort of liberal QAnon, blue anon, as some on Twitter say, is just absurd to me.
Yeah, agreed, 100%, Peter. I could not understand. I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what is this article actually about? And why would someone even write this? Was it just to, I thought, Peter, that perhaps it was just to have a contrarian point of view so that there would be, that you can write about it. It seemed to me like, okay, maybe he's just trying to find something to write about, to have a contrarian point of view, or perhaps to get booked on a morning show or something, or on a show just to say, oh, well, someone is saying this. And it feels a lot like what many in the mainstream media are doing, and that is trying to find a way to appease the Trumpers in order to get more clicks or more viewers. I mean, I don't know what you think about that, Peter, but that's how it feels to me.
Yeah, I like to imagine that most people in our industry operate in good faith and only in good faith. And I want to be very clear. I'm not commenting on Ben or this story directly right now, but we know, Don, you and I, Andy knows too, Nikki knows too, that having a hot take, having a contrarian take, being willing to say something that you don't necessarily believe can, in certain circumstances, get you gigs and get you eyeballs and get you booked. So it's just hard to know.
Agreed. Everyone say aye. Aye. I agree with that. Okay, the ayes have it. Let's move on. Speaking of having a contrarian point of view and getting eyeballs on it, someone who is becoming, who has actually taken the attention for some, giving, when they said, don't give your enemy ammo, right? Don't give them the reason. Hunter Biden is giving them the reason. He has given the Republicans, he's given Republican media or conservative media ammo. He's giving them a reason to talk about something else other than Epstein. I'm sure that was not his intention. I'm not saying that I disagree with much of what he said, because a lot of it is true. Not all of it, but a lot of it is true. I should say, not that it's true. A lot of it I agree with him on. I just don't know if this is the time. And I don't know if this paints his family in the best light. Okay? So stand by for that. But first, I want to get a word in from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by ZBiotics, and I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't bounce back like I used to after a night out. Whether it's cocktails with friends or a glass of wine over dinner, the next morning used to hit me hard until I discovered ZBiotics. It used to hit me really hard, and then I discovered ZBiotics, okay? It is a pre-alcohol probiotic drink, and I take it before my first drink of the night. And I mean, I do it every time. It is designed by real scientists to break down the toxins in your gut that cause those awful mornings. I first tried it before a dinner party, just one of those nights where you're going to enjoy yourself. And the next day, no fog, no headache, no regrets. I felt sharp. So if you've got barbecues or cookouts, beach days, or summer celebrations coming up, do yourself a favor. Make ZBiotics your first drink of the night. Go to zbiotics.com/lemon and use the code LEMON at checkout. That's zbiotics.com/lemon. Use the code LEMON at checkout for 15% off. And if it doesn't work for you, well, you get your money back, no hassle. zbiotics.com/lemon and use the code LEMON, okay? At checkout. You'll thank me in the morning. Support for the show comes from Lean, and I want to talk to anybody out there who has been trying to lose weight the healthy way. Let me be real. There's a lot of pressure out there. Injections, extreme diets, gimmicks. But if you're looking for something natural and actually smart, Lean is worth a look. It's made with a rare cactus called Caralluma. Okay? Caralluma has been used for centuries in India to naturally suppress appetite. It's now part of this doctor-formulated supplement that helps with blood sugar, cravings, and burning fat, all without needles or prescriptions. So one of my friends started using it this year, and the results were impressive. More energy, less snacking, and for the first time, they actually felt in control without feeling deprived. Lean was built on natural ingredients with real science behind them, okay? So if you're ready to try something that fits your lifestyle and doesn't involve doctors' visits, here's your moment. Go to lean.com and use the code LEMON20, okay? Go to takelean.com, I should say that, takelean.com, and use the code LEMON20 to get 20% off. That's take, L-E-A-N, takelean.com, code LEMON20 at checkout. Again, it's not evaluated by the FDA, not a substitute for medical care, but this is a smart, natural option, and that matters. Thank you to all of our sponsors. 100% correct. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, you guys ready for this one? I want you to pay attention. Here we go. This is Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden had a few choice words for the Democrats in his party, the folks who led his father's campaign, the folks he believed pushed his father out of the race, some of the people who are reporting and writing books about his dad. I mean, he just went on and on and on. Okay? And also about George Clooney. And there are a lot of people out there going, hey, there's not one lie in there. I'm not saying that, but that is the sentiment coming on social media. And from some of the responses I'm seeing, there are some things that I agree with him on. There's some things I disagree with him on. My point of disagreement with him is I don't think that this was the time to do it. Are you guys ready to listen to this? You ready? Okay. Have a seat. Grab something. And here is, I just want the first one that we played, Andy, all strung together. Just that one of a series of different people that he's talking about. Here it is.
But fuck him. Fuck him and everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking, I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his fucking life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 fucking years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of fucking David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior fucking speechwriters on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who've been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40-50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times. how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
Not to mention,
Who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper?
my mom or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
For real though, I don't even think it's your mom anymore.
No.
By the numbers, what influence does Jake Tapper have over anything? He has the smallest audience on cable news, and beyond that, I think that the book is right now on Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to shit after he put the book out. You know, they did a 2-week infomercial for it. I mean, it was such a money grab, such a disservice to everybody that he serves with. That the journal.
Okay. Woo, Lordy. Lordy. Okay. Let me just tell you something. What is, oh my gosh, what does James Baldwin say? I'm going to paraphrase. There's nothing more dangerous than someone who has nothing to lose, right? And Hunter Biden, what does he have to lose? Hunter Biden has nothing to lose at this point. He's been pardoned. His dad is out. He feels that they kicked his dad out. So let me just tell you, Hunter Biden has 0 F's to give, okay? So, and I see you guys in the chat. Let me tell you, I don't know what's going on. You guys are saying, people are asking, what's he doing? Is he inebriated? I don't know about that. But let me just say this, okay? Now, I have to say, look, okay, George Clooney is my hall pass. Come on, Hunter, stop. But I understand why he's upset with George Clooney. I'm just saying, I think George Clooney is a good actor. Okay. But beyond that, and that's, look, again, so don't think that I'm shading anybody. I am not shading anyone. I see you guys like it. I actually like it. I like what he said. Some of what he said. Most of what he said. I agree with him. I just don't know if this is the moment. And it wasn't, there was no need at this point, I believe, to go down that rabbit hole. That was what we called, you guys know what an evergreen is? Like in the business, we'll say, well, that story's an evergreen. That means that you can get to that story at any point, right? That means, okay, so, you know, I don't know, the story on whatever, the CEO. I mean, that's kind of I don't know, the CEO at the Coldplay thing. That's not really an evergreen, but it's a story that you're going to do about, I don't know, the environment or something. That's an evergreen story. You can do that story at any point. There's no news peg yet, but people are interested and they will be interested in this story. So that what he said is kind of an evergreen, a little bit of an evergreen, because when the Democrats finally have something that they can keep the focus on Donald Trump, here comes Hunter Biden. And you know how they feel about Hunter Biden and the laptop. Okay. Now, there are many in the Democratic Party, some of them who are high up. And I said it to someone who was really high up, maybe the most high up that you can get at the Democratic Party, okay? And I said, Hunter, interesting. And I sent him that soundbite. Their response to me was, I don't see any lies here. Did you hear me? I don't see any lies here. It has given, though, conservative media something to focus on other than Epstein. Okay? And of course, we have a poll up. We have a poll up right now, and I want you guys to go vote. Hunter is right. Hunter is crashing. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe a little bit of both is 37%. Hunter is crashing is 11%. Crashing out, I should say. And Hunter is right, 51%. The majority of people believe that Hunter Biden is right on these issues. Because I just have to say, a lot of folks are, look, this is what folks in the people in the Democratic Party say all the time, but this is what they say privately. Look, let him speak. I told you, I don't disagree with a lot of it. I'd say let him speak. But you also have to understand the timing. If there was not this Epstein story, I'd be like, all right, Hunter said what he said. And he did. He said what he said. But people in the Democratic Party will say what Hunter Biden says in public. And that's kitchen table talk. You don't share that. Ooh, don't say that in front of company. Don't say that. You cannot say that publicly. And boy, I have been slammed for saying things that people say that that's family business. Don't talk about it, Don. Why are you talking about family business? But Hunter said, F it. I'm going to talk about it. They trash his dad every effing day. I'm not mad at Hunter. That's what Snugglebug 624 says. They're not upset with him. Meanwhile, Epstein, we can get back to Epstein, but this seems to have you guys fired up about some of the people. Now, I have to tell you that listening to this story, it is what many in the Democratic Party say, especially those who are in the streaming media, that the Democrats are still enamored and they're stuck on anything that has the patina of legacy media, when that's not where the actual influence is coming from. So even those of us who are in the streaming media can see this, and we say it all the time. You don't hear a lot about it in legacy media, because the people who are in the Democratic Party, some of the leaders, some of the folks who are in the media, mainstream media, so to speak, will not say what Hunter Biden said. So I have to give him props for saying it, because a lot of it's true. But I just don't like the fact that he's taking the focus off of something that is really, really important at this point. And you guys may be mad at me. I don't care. But Hunter Biden said what he said. Now, you tell me where you disagree with him on any of that. And the people in the Democratic Party are going to be mad about it. They're going to trash him. They're going to say, oh, Hunter, stop, go sit down, do this, whatever. I understand it. But if they're saying stop, go sit down, and they're pissed at him because of what he said, then they're wrong. If they say, okay, Hunter, this wasn't the time, then they are right. It could have waited a week or two. Could have waited maybe even a month. Who knows? My dog agrees. Could have waited. But instead, here we go. Now, someone says, who cares? I don't know. You guys tell me how you feel about it. I want to know in the comments. What do you think? And by the way, there's more where that came from. That interview was like 2 hours long. I forget. We're going to have a private chat with our members. If you're of a certain tier, right after this, in just a few moments, we will be playing these sound bites, the longer sound bites of these subjects that he's talking about and different subjects. And I want to know what you think. I agree. Epstein. Epstein. But Hunter is on a mission, and Hunter is unleashed. And so Hunter's in the wild right now. And I can't say that I'm not here for it. I'm just not here for it right now. You know, and you say, look, I've had enough. My mom will say, I've had enough, baby. Y'all go do that. I'm not going with you today. I'm not doing this. I can't do this today. I've had enough. So I've had enough, but at another time, I want to hear everything. But right now, Epstein. Okay? So that's where I stand right now. Okay, guys, make sure, go check out our website. If you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, you can go to donlemon.com. There is Lemon Media Network. That is our website. You can watch. If you click on the watch button, you'll see that's us streaming live right now. It says we're live, streaming live on YouTube. Okay. And if you back up, if you go, you can also go to the store. If you want to click on the store, and it'll take you to our merch. Okay. And so, and if you want to buy the hat or whatever, you can. If you want to buy, well, this one is a whole different cup. If you want to buy our fans, you can. Anything that you want to buy. People love these hats. I don't know what is going on, but people love them. Okay. You can do that. Back out of it, Andy. Also, you can go and check out where we stream. We stream on iHeart Radio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Okay. And then you can also go out there. I can see you can go to our merch from here. Boom, takes you right there. That's our feature collection. Go to our merch, okay? And then back out of it, Andy. And then let's see what else we have there. And then our Substack. Of course, click on the Substack and see if you can see the Substack. There we go. We're live on the Substack. It's a little bit delayed. There we go, okay? So it's all there if you want to just go to donlemon.com. And let me tell you about, I've just been texting with this gentleman right here. This is D.L. Hughley. I've been texting about what we're going to do coming up on August 12th. At City Winery right here in New York City at 7:30. Tickets are on sale. DL and DL, anything goes. Episode 2. It starts at 7:30. Doors open at 6. We had a fantastic time last time. Amazing. So buy your tickets before they sell out, because people like to start buy tickets towards the end. And then many times that means you don't get a ticket. Okay. So go check it out. All right. And so I am so happy that you're here. We're going to have our private member chat happening in just moments. So it will redirect you if you are a member of that tier. I think it's if you are a Lemon Head and Lemon Legend, you get to be in our private chat. Okay. So, and also if you're on TikTok, it's subscribers only. Okay. So here we go. Until I see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Remember, Epstein. Okay. So I see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time for our Hot Topics program. I always tell you, you can be informed without being inundated. Okay. So until then, turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.